If you reworked all the immortality ults, then the offensive supports are being put on a more level playing field, which could lead to the game's 3 support issues being made even worse, and that's before we get into the potentially disastrous consequences regarding the game's offensive ults. The most pressing issue for a lot of people who play Rivals is how do you solve 3 support comps, and the thing with that is that I just don't know. I mean, I know a lot of people hate 3 support, but I honestly have never had a problem with it. At least at the levels of play I chill at, it's never been much of a problem, and in my experience, the 3 support comp definitely feels its slower ult charge and lower damage. Of course, that leaves the glaring issues with higher levels of play, where in Overwatch and in Rivals supports are much more of a problem. When surrounded by people who know how cover works, and when played by people who can actually aim, characters like Baptiste and Luna Snow go from the more mundane characters they are in the hands of the average gamer to lethal threats. However, things like Baptiste and Luna Snow and Goat's meta were almost certainly not felt nearly as strongly for people who played the game casually than it was for the Sweats, who are a minority. Should you care about those levels of play, and how much, are fair questions to ask. If it sounds like I'm rambling, yeah, I kinda am, sorry, but what I'm getting at is that nothing in a game like this is simple, and I took that for granted when I made my first video on the design of Marvel Rivals' supports a year ago.